lot.
I call the Aleppo Township Workshop meeting of September 14th, 2020 to order at 7 p.m. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
President Jones,
Present.
Vice President Williams, Commissioner Dara,
Present.
Commissioner Richard,
Present.
Commissioner Haluka, Solicitor Stone,
Present.
and Manager Patterson.
As always, this meeting will be recorded. Do I hear a motion to approve the August 17th, 20... Any seconds?
Say no more.
Comments?
I think just Patty should be recognized for doing a great job. There was a lot of information to cover, and I thought it was really,
Thank you.
yeah, well,
Thanks.
Well done.
yeah.
Bravo.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Old business, zoning ordinance revision proposal from HRG. Gwen?
I just put it back in your packet to, we talked about it in the past and then the board hadn't decided they were ready to act on it, so I'm just bringing it back in front of you again. Let me know, now that we had Carolyn Yeagel's presentation of the ASO and that it was moving forward to the public comment phase, I didn't know if you were ready to revisit this as a voted on proposal for HRG to get started, or if you were still wanted to wait a little bit longer.
Is there a good reason to wait until the public comment has occurred?
To start on this process? I mean,
I don't see
Sure.
any real reason to vote on it now.
okay. I'll just hold off then. If I'll just hold off until, the planning commission has asked again, you know, when we're gonna start on this process. So I'll just tell them know that that the board wants to wait until the ASO public comment period's over. And then can let me
Yeah,
know when
but-
you want this.
I doubt that it would occur, but should something significant happen during the comment period, the scope might change.
Sure.
I'd
So I'll hold
also
off.
like a chance to review the contract.
Okay,
Why don't you go ahead and do that, Bill?
yeah. I mean, we're prepared to proceed, but I don't see that we need to jump.
I'll hold it until I hear the next one.
Aleppo Township Act 537 plan revision, when?
It's more of a dam.
Dan?
I think we're ready at this point to have, they've submitted to the DEP for their initial review. I think we discussed that at the last legislative meeting.
Yeah. Commissioner Richard and Haluka, do you understand what we're discussing?
Kind of. 60%.
I think that's pretty much as much as anybody understands. But we've been through a process of trying to update our Act 537 for years, so this is the next step. So I think we can vote on that when
I have everything, nothing set up for a motion, I just have it set up so we could
we'll
vote
do
on
it
it
for the
next week.
legislative meeting.
Yeah, I'll mark it for that.
And if anybody has any questions, talk to Gwen or call me or Dan. All right, new business, pension plans.
Every year, the RX determines how much we have to budget and pay for the upcoming year for the two pension plans that we have. We have the police pension plan for the retired police officers from Aleppo. There are 5 members on that, in that plan. And then the non-uniform plan, which covers the other employees. And so we got our MMOs for 2021. So for 2021, we are required to put $16,397 in the police pension plan and $13,489 in the non-uniform employee pension plan. So you have to vote to accept these MMOs. You can do it next week. I have everything set up for next week. And then those are the amounts that will be paid in 2021 into the plans.
Are those amounts part of the payment plan as opposed to the lump?
The police one was the one that you guys voted on in the
Right.
spring to kind of smooth out the obligation that we would be required to put in. So that's 16 something instead of 50,000 that we may
Good.
have had to put in. So that'll be on the agenda for next week.
Any further?
Might note that, for the authority, the auditor pointed out that the authority pension plan has a maximum, which is permitted contribution of 3%, whereas they've been doing it at 5%. It has something to do with the nature of the plan. And there's Nicole's looking at alternatives to get back to the 5% that we had been doing. I don't know if that was
That's not a
something
plan
came up
for
in our
years.
audit or not.
We have a different plan, and so we did have, when we changed our formula from a flat lump sum to a percentage for this township employees, we did have to go and re-adopt the plan itself. So that might be the step that was missed at the authority.
And I think the shortfall is caused primarily by market performance, or lack thereof.
And in the police one, it's also caused by, we have now, I believe, 4 of the 5 are now withdrawing, or drawing on the pension.
Okay. Any further discussion? Amendment to the transfer and operating agreement between the township and the authority. Dan?
The amendment's needed in order to bring that agreement into conformance with the terms of the bond issue that we just did. So it's changing the end date, basically.
So the end date's now consistent with the end of the debt.
Correct.
Right.
That's all done?
Yes.
So you'll vote on that next week to,
All right.
just to change that.
Weber's Corner Plan of Lots, revision number 2, subdivision plan.
The planning commission had a meeting this month and they reviewed this plan. And it is a plan that's, the property owned by Earl Seiler, it's across from the fire station. He owns, his house is at 210 Weber, which is across and up the hill a little bit. And then he also owns the land that's across the street from the fire station, but the gravel parking lot where the firemen are allowed to park sometimes. And he's moving a lot line between the parcel that he owns with his house and then that one. He's shifting a lot line to give his house parcel a little bit more land and take a little bit from the other property that he owns. And it was reviewed by HRG and by the planning commission and they recommend approval. So next week you'll vote to approve that subdivision.
Good. Release of Masonic letter of credit.
They had to put up a letter of credit for, and Harlan, you'll want to listen, make sure I get this right, for their construction of the villas that they had over there. And so the time period is up now, and we're just waiting for HRG to give us a final clearance letter to let the letter of credit be released. So, we're just waiting for Ben's release on that one. So if we get that by next week, we'll go ahead and put it on the agenda to be released.
Perfect.
Zoning hearing board vacancy. Could you explain a little bit about the zoning hearing board?
Sure. The zoning hearing board is a 3-member volunteer board made up by people in the township. You have to be a resident of the township and you cannot serve on any other position in the township. If you're on the zoning hearing board, you can't do anything else. You can't sit on another board or anything like that. And it meets to hear variance requests. So if somebody says, I want to build something on my lot that's not conforming with the zoning ordinance, they go to the zoning hearing board for their variance request. So it's a judicial board of the township, and they have a separate solicitor. So it's an independent solicitor and it's an independent board. And we had a longtime member, Bruno Russo was a longtime member, but he's retiring just for time and health reasons. And so now we have a vacancy and we need to fill that with a resident of the township.
And who are the 2 existing?
Braden Blosser and Louis Hassan. And it's a 3-year term.
So anyone who's watching, we need to fill a vacancy on the zoning hearing board. You've heard a description of the process and what the board does, so we hope to hear from you.
I have one thing, they meet as needed and generally that is averaged about once a year. So, it's not a huge time commitment.
I was gonna say, so it's a huge commitment.
Yeah. Wow.
So any commissioners that know somebody, please let Gwen know.
Mhm.
All 2020 offsite meetings canceled, I think that's a given.
It is. I didn't even approach anybody this year. I just think it's, certainly if Masonic would have laughed had we
I would
approached
put
them.
my body between you guys and the
Judy wouldn't even
sign.
allow me to ask. And I figured, why go to the fire station too? Let's just keep our stuff right here.
I don't think that requires a vote.
Yeah.
Citizen participation.
We're pretty lonely tonight.
Steelers kick off in 1 minute.
Oh, that's right.
Steelers kick off at
That had
7:10.
nothing to do with it.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Mr. Solicitor, do we need an executive session?
Not tonight.
He's going to watch the game. No,
Did you just say you did not know there was a seal here?
I didn't, I apologize.
Any other new business?
Educate Amy on our sports team.
Therefore, meeting adjourned.
Thank you.